Don't show live silver price ticking up rapidly on a dark trading screen. Deep inside the heavily guarded vaults of the world's most critical commodities exchange, physical silver is quietly disappearing at a rate that has top market analysts asking one simple, dangerous question. For months, millions of ounces of silver have been pulled from the registered vaults of the COMEX in New York, leaving behind an inventory footprint that looks vastly different from what investors were used to just a few years ago. But why is this physical metal vanishing so fast? Who is buying it up? And what is COMEX actually telling investors who are trying to protect their life savings right now? If you're interested in money, investing, gold, silver, and protecting your financial future, subscribe to Money Insights and like this video, because every week we break down the biggest financial stories in simple English. Whether you are a parent saving for college, a worker trying to beat relentless inflation, or a retiree trying to preserve your hard-earned wealth, the signal currently coming out of these vault receipts could change the way you look at paper money forever. Same. Show exterior of the NYMEX COMEX building in Manhattan. To understand what is happening, we first have to take a look inside a world that most ordinary people never get to see. The commodity exchange, commonly known as the COMEX, is the central marketplace where futures contracts for metals like gold, silver, and copper are traded every single day. Most people think of it as a place where numbers change on a computer screen, but beneath those paper transactions lies a physical backbone of actual metal stored in specialized bank vaults across New York. Show massive stainless steel vault doors opening slowly. When silver arrives at a COMEX-approved vault, it is separated into two very specific categories: eligible and registered. Eligible silver simply means the metal meets the strict purity and bar size standards to be stored in the vault, but it is owned by private entities or investors who have no immediate intention of selling it on the market. It is sitting in storage like furniture in a private deposit box. Registered silver, on the other hand, is the real bloodline of the financial exchange. This is the metal that has official warrants attached to it, meaning it is available for immediate physical delivery to fulfill a futures contract if a buyer demands it. We display COMEX silver inventory chart showing sharp downward slope. Over the past few years, data released by the exchange itself shows that the registered category of silver has experienced massive drawdowns. Millions upon millions of troy ounces of registered silver have either been converted into eligible status or removed from the vaults entirely. But here's where everything changes. When registered inventories drop significantly, the ratio between paper futures contracts being traded and the actual physical metal standing by to back those contracts becomes uncomfortably wide. Show high-speed trading floor with financial tickers. Think of it like a local bank that holds $10 million in customer accounts, but only has $50,000 in cash inside its vault on any given Tuesday. As long as everyone is content using their debit cards, digital transfers, and paper checks, the bank operates perfectly fine. But the moment a sudden rush of customers stands at the front door asking for physical cash, the reality of fractional reserve banking becomes painfully obvious. In the silver market, paper futures contracts outweigh physical registered ounces by a staggering margin on any given trading day, relying entirely on the assumption that most traders will just settle their contracts in cash rather than asking for 5,000-ounce physical bars. I show industrial solar panel installations spanning across desert. But why are these physical silver stocks shrinking in the first place? And why now? Most investors assume that silver is just gold's cheaper, less glamorous cousin, a simple precious metal that people hold in coins or jewelry. But history tells a very different story. Silver occupies a unique and dual identity in global finance. It is both a historic monetary reserve and an indispensable industrial commodity. Today, the world is consuming silver at a rate that traditional mining supply is struggling to keep up with, driven almost entirely by the rapid expansion of modern technologies. I show high-tech microchip manufacturing room with clean suits. Every solar panel being installed on roofs across America, every modern electric vehicle rolling off assembly lines, and every sophisticated microchip inside modern smartphones requires physical silver because it is the most electrically conductive element on planet Earth. Unlike gold, which is mostly refined, molded into bars, and hoarded in underground bank vaults for decades, silver used in advanced industrial manufacturing is often consumed, fragmented, or embedded in microcomponents that are far too expensive to recycle efficiently. To show robotic arm-placing circuit boards inside electronics factory, that means millions of ounces of physical silver are literally being permanently removed from the global market every single year, buried in landfills or locked inside technology products. Now here's the part most people miss. While industrial demand from green energy initiatives and electronics has surged to all-time highs, major silver mines around the world have faced rising energy costs, regulatory hurdles, political instabilities in South America, and falling ore grades. The result is a growing structural deficit, where global silver consumption has exceeded global annual mine production for several consecutive years. Show satellite imagery of large open-pit mine in Peru. When an industry uses more of a physical resource than the Earth is yielding each year, the supply deficit has to be filled by drawing down existing above-ground stockpiles. And where are those major stockpiles located? Right inside institutional vaults, like the COMEX and the London Bullion Market Association. As industrial buyers step in to secure physical supply for their manufacturing pipelines, and as institutional investors quietly pull physical metal out of public warehouses to secure their portfolios against currency debasement, the available pool of deliverable silver shrinks even further. Show stack of printed US paper dollars scrolling across machine. For ordinary families, watching their grocery bills rise and their purchasing power shrink, this dynamic matters far more than it might appear on the surface. Silver has historically served as a financial insurance policy during times when central banks print massive amounts of paper currency. When inflation erodes the value of fiat cash inside a traditional bank account, hard assets with limited physical supply naturally tend to reprice to reflect the reality of a diluted currency system. Show Federal Reserve Building in Washington, D.C. with dramatic sky. When the Federal Reserve and global central banks cut interest rates or expand their balance sheets to support national debt, paper money loses its purchasing power over time. But physical elements like silver cannot be created with a keystroke or printed by an act of Congress. So when investors look at shrinking physical inventories at the COMEX, they aren't just looking at warehouse statistics. They are looking at a real-time stress test of paper money versus physical reality. Or show close-up of shiny silver American Eagle coin. Almost nobody noticed this, but the modern paper pricing mechanism for precious metals was originally designed during an era when physical supply was abundant and delivery demands were exceptionally rare. Futures markets like COMEX allowed commercial hedgers, like mining companies and industrial users, to lock in prices months in advance to manage their business risks. Traders could buy and sell paper contracts, representing thousands of ounces of silver without ever touching a single silver coin. Show financial traders looking at multiple red and green charts. This paper trading volume grew so massive that it eventually became the primary driver of the daily spot price of silver. Instead of the real-world physical demand from solar manufacturers and coin collectors setting the price, the continuous buying and selling of paper derivatives began dictating what an ounce of physical silver was worth. But this financial structure relies on one fundamental premise, that the exchange always maintains enough physical silver in its registered vaults to satisfy anyone who decides to call their bluff and take actual delivery. Show heavy armored transport truck pulling up to security gate. If physical silver stocks on the COMEX continue to drop toward historically low levels relative to total open futures contracts, the risk of a physical delivery squeeze increases dramatically. A delivery squeeze occurs when buyers holding paper futures contracts refuse to take a cash settlement and instead demand physical bars delivered to their designated vaults. If the exchange's registered inventories are insufficient to satisfy all delivery requests at once, the market is forced to rapidly adjust paper prices upward to persuade physical metal holders to sell or face an unprecedented operational crisis. Show historical black and white photos of silver market panics. This tiny detail changes everything because it reveals the tension existing between paper derivatives and physical tangible assets. Throughout economic history, whenever paper claims on a physical asset multiply far beyond the actual supply of that asset, the physical market eventually reasserts its dominance over the paper market. Some market analysts point out that we have seen glimpses of this phenomenon in previous historical cycles, where physical premiums for real coins and bars surged far above the official paper spot, price quoted on financial networks. Show family sitting at kitchen table reviewing monthly household bills. Why does this matter to young workers or parents saving for the future? Because most conventional financial advice encourages people to keep nearly all of their wealth inside digital financial assets, like stocks, paper bonds, index funds, and standard savings accounts. While these paper vehicles have provided growth during periods of economic expansion and price stability, they are all ultimately dependent on the counterparty strength of the financial institutions that manage them. Physical commodities like gold and silver carry zero counterparty risk. They do not rely on a corporation's earnings report, a bank's solvency, or government's promise to pay back debt. Show macro shot of stack of shiny silver bullion bars in dim light. As central bank balance sheets expand to service record high levels of global debt, central banks themselves have been quietly buying physical gold at the fastest pace in modern history. While central banks primarily focus their public reserves on gold, the systemic demand for physical precious metals created by their actions spills over directly into the silver market. Because silver is significantly cheaper per ounce than gold, it has historically acted as a high beta relative to gold movements, meaning that when precious metals enter a bull market, silver often experiences percentage swings that are much larger than its gold counterpart. Show comparison graphics between gold price movements and silver price movements. But here's where the plot thickens. While physical registered inventories at the COMEX have dropped significantly from their peak levels, some market skeptics argue that there is still plenty of silver sitting in the eligible category, owned by wealthy private investors, ETFs, and institutions. They suggest that if the spot price of silver rises high enough, those private holders will simply transfer their metal into the registered category to collect a quick profit, effectively replenishing the market's deliverable supply and preventing any structural delivery failure. A show vault worker pushing cart loaded with heavy silver bars. But that argument assumes those private holders want to swap their physical protection for paper currency at current prices. What if the very reason those investors moved their silver into eligible storage in the first place was because they lost confidence in paper money, soaring national debt, and political instability? If long-term holders are keeping physical silver as a generational hedge against severe inflation or currency devaluation, higher prices might actually encourage them to hold on even tighter, recognizing that the paper money being offered in exchange is losing its purchasing power by the day. Show computer screen showing silver ETF holdings and vault audits. This creates a fascinating psychological dilemma inside the global financial ecosystem. If major industrial users, such as solar manufacturers and electric vehicle companies, begin to fear that physical silver deliverability could become constrained in the future, their natural response would be to bypass paper derivatives entirely. They might start securing long-term physical supply contracts directly with mining companies, or buying physical bars off the open market to stockpile inside their own private warehouses to protect their production lines. Show assembly line, assembling electric vehicle battery modules. Imagine a major green energy manufacturer that needs millions of ounces of silver to keep its factories running next year. If that manufacturer sees registered COMEX inventories dropping month after month, waiting around to buy silver on the spot market becomes a dangerous strategic gamble. Securing physical metal ahead of time becomes a matter of operational survival. If multiple global industries simultaneously decide to hoard physical inventories of silver just in case, the available market supply shrinks exponentially, accelerating the very shortage they were trying to prepare for. Show split screen of paper dollar bill, burning next to silver coin resting on stone. Now here's the part most people miss when analyzing financial markets. The paper-silver market is heavily influenced by short sellers, which are often large bullion banks that take massive short positions on futures exchanges. When short positions are high, it can suppress the paper price of silver, even while real-world physical demand remains robust. Historically, paper markets can suppress physical asset prices for extended periods, creating a widespread perception among mainstream investors that silver is stagnant or uninteresting. Show magnifying glass looking closely at financial spreadsheet numbers. But paper market suppression creates an artificial wedge between the financial price and the physical reality. Every single day that the paper spot price remains artificially low relative to the true cost of mining and physical demand, global consumers buy more cheap physical silver. Industrial users burn through more physical silver, and vault inventories continue their steady downward drift. It creates a spring-loading effect where the lower the price is held artificially, the tighter the physical supply becomes in the real world. Show chart illustrating sharp rise in global national debt levels. To understand the ultimate outcome of this dynamic, investors must look at the broader macroeconomic backdrop currently unfolding across the United States and the global economy. National debt in the United States has blown past historic records. Interest payments on that debt are now consuming a massive portion of federal tax revenue, and central banks are caught in a classic structural trap. If central banks raise interest rates high enough to permanently crush inflation, they risk making government debt servicing unmanageable and triggering severe credit strain throughout the banking system. Show Federal Reserve Chairman standing at podium during press conference. On the flip side, if central banks cut interest rates and resume quantitative easing to support government spending and keep the financial system liquid, they risk reigniting inflation and causing the purchasing power of paper money to decline even faster. In either scenario, traditional paper savings face mounting economic headwinds. This is precisely why institutional capital, sovereign wealth funds, and smart money investors are paying such close attention to physical hard assets like gold and silver. Show busy shipping port with container ships being loaded with goods. Consider how this impacts an ordinary household trying to build a stable financial future. For decades, traditional wealth management recommended a simple portfolio split between 70% stocks and 30% government bonds. But in an economic regime characterized by persistent inflation and massive national debt, holding paper bonds that yield less than the real rate of currency debasement can result in a slow, silent loss of real purchasing power. Silver, despite its short-term price volatility, has maintained its real purchasing power across thousands of years of human civilization. I'll show historic ancient Roman coins next to modern paper currency notes. Throughout history, every single pure paper currency system implemented by human societies has eventually failed, returned to its intrinsic value of zero, or been replaced by a new monetary regime backed by tangible physical assets. From ancient Rome, diluting the silver content of its denarius coins to finance expanding imperial debts, to modern governments expanding digital money supplies, the fundamental playbook remains remarkably unchanged. When paper claims become infinite, physical assets with finite supply naturally reassert their monetary standing. Show modern high-speed automated coin minting machines stamping silver coins. But history also tells a very different story when it comes to timing. Markets often remain irrational far longer than rational investors expect. A drop in COMEX registered silver stocks does not mean that the global monetary system will collapse tomorrow morning, nor does it guarantee that silver prices will skyrocket overnight. Physical drawdowns can happen slowly over several years, interspersed with temporary rebounds as market participants adjust their strategies. Inventory is shuffled between different vaults, or industrial demand experiences short-term cyclical slowdowns. I show Financial News Network headline graphic about commodities. That is why responsible investors avoid emotional panic and instead focus on understanding the structural patterns underneath the daily headlines. What the COMEX Vault data is showing us today is not an apocalyptic collapse, but a clear, measurable transition in market behavior. It shows that physical metal is steadily moving out of public trading warehouses and into private, long-term hands, while real-world industrial consumption continues to consume a significant percentage of annual mine output. Show worker carrying box of silver bars inside secure vault corridor. This tiny detail changes everything for anyone evaluating their own portfolio allocation. If physical silver availability on public exchanges continues to shrink over the coming years, the leverage built into paper futures contracts will become increasingly visible to institutional traders. The moment large market participants perceive that physical delivery is becoming tight, the psychological shift from paper settlement to physical allocation can happen with astonishing speed. Show digital representation of global network connections linking financial centers. When paper traders suddenly realize that paper dollars cannot construct solar panels, manufacture microchips, or serve as physical reserve assets without actual metal, the pricing power shifts dramatically from Wall Street screens back to physical vault owners. The dynamic taking place within the COMEX inventory system is ultimately a quiet, real-time reflection of that ongoing friction between paper financial claims and physical reality. Show family enjoying a peaceful dinner together in comfortable home. For ordinary families, parents, and retirees, watching these trends unfold isn't about predicting day-to-day market swings or trying to get rich quick off speculative trading. It is about understanding the fundamental laws of supply and demand, recognizing the long-term impact of relentless currency expansion, and taking prudent steps to protect your family's financial resilience. Whether that means holding a portion of physical, tangible assets, diversifying outside of traditional paper accounts, or simply staying informed about structural shift in global markets, knowledge remains your most valuable asset. Show dramatic shot of COMEX warehouse vault holding rows of silver bars. So what is COMEX ultimately telling investors right now? It is signaling that physical metal is leaving the building, paper claims are growing increasingly detached from physical inventory realities, and the underlying real-world demand for silver as both an industrial necessity and a monetary hedge is quietly altering the foundation of the market. The physical stocks are shrinking, the global demand is rising, and the gap between paper derivatives and physical metal is reaching a critical structural crossroads. Show glowing silver coin spinning slowly on dark surface, then settling flat. Understanding this shift empowers you to look past daily market noise, evaluate your financial strategy with clarity, and make smart, disciplined decisions to protect your wealth no matter what lies ahead in the financial markets. If you learned something new today, make sure to subscribe to Money Insights and like this video. More powerful financial insights are coming next.